Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you a practice set that I played with one of my good buddies, Ilya, and we're gonna go through each of the points, and I'd like for you guys to see if you can figure out the pattern or the strategy that I am trying to employ against him and he is trying to employ against me. So understand that we are both relatively big hitters. We're playing on a fast indoor hard court, so the points aren't that lengthy. There's a lot of quick skidding shots. It is quite difficult to hit heavy when the ball is being ripped at you, so the variety in height isn't tremendous, although there is some of it. And overall, the plan is pretty simple, right? It's you got to get a hold of the first two shots in the rally, right? The 0-4 is that crucial part of a rally that determines 70% of all of the points in the match. In our sets, oftentimes more so. So if either of us is having a good serving day or a good returning day, oftentimes we are able to take advantage and ride that wave. So understand that these are really quick points, and I hope that you guys can take something away from this. A few key things that I hope you guys are able to notice is, as a server, something that I've been working on is trying to get my serve +1 to be a forehand. So I'm targeting and I'm setting up my serve so that my first ball is going to be a forehand. That oftentimes means serving out wide on the deuce side and actually maybe going more body instead of always going to the backhand. Even though that is a really good target if you are the server, the backhand returns tend to come back more often, especially with a player like Ilya, who's just got like this nice flat shovel of a backhand. He can just like dink it back and put it back into play if he gets his racket on it. So giving myself variations in spins, targets, will allow me to set up for a forehand. The returning side, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to force my opponent, Ilya in this case, to hit two consecutive backhands, meaning I'm trying to get him to hit his +1 as a backhand and the shot subsequent after that to also be a backhand. If you are able to do this as a returner, you are going to set yourself up for much more successful points, right? The server is looking to use their weapon. They're either trying to get free points right away off the serve, or they're trying to use their forehand as a weapon as their first shot after. If you can eliminate this by making returns, making them hit backhands as their first ball, and then forcing them into that backhand corner right away, you are now taking control of their service games. That is a huge, huge advantage or a huge win in men's tennis, in women's tennis as well, but specifically in men's tennis where the serve is a huge component of any big player's game. An important piece of this set is that neither of us was feeling great, super explosive or well rested going into this set. We had both trained a lot over the previous days. We both use a Whoop strap to track our recovery. Ilya was in the red, and so that means that his recovery was not great, and I myself had been averaging 6,000 plus calories leading up that day and had already burned 4,000 calories when we started that set. So I was pretty exhausted as well. So we're not as quick necessarily or as explosive as we would like to be. And our passion shows in some of our reactions, especially mine, when the going kind of got tough. What I do want to point out is that we both had this discussion after, and I think this is really important for especially junior players, but amateur players and rec players of all levels and even aspiring professionals, is that you're not always going to feel good. And I think a really big part of competing is figuring out how you can manage your emotions and your focus when you're not feeling your best. Because if you can do it when you're not feeling your best, you're definitely going to be able to do it when you are feeling well. So it's a really good way to practice, maybe work out before your training sessions, or maybe it's your second practice of the day or whatever it might be. You might be feeling a little bit sluggish. It's a really great way for you to test yourself and how are you actually going to perform in pressure situations when you're not feeling 100%. Are you going to buckle down and grind it out? Are you going to go for the serve and volley plays to make the point shorter, but maybe it's a little bit more taxing because it's more explosive? Or are you going to target the right way? Are you going to get nervous? Are you going to doubt yourself? Or are you going to have this pure belief, you're going to plan properly, and you're going to execute the way that you would like? And so having that little bit of information, right, about yourself, knowing these little things about yourself going into the sets is a really great way for you to prep yourself mentally to battle, right? And I think that's really, really important. Every match or every set or whatever that you're going into, you should be looking forward to the battle. There are no easy wins, right? That is a huge part of something that I talk with my players a lot, especially the younger ones. They often look for that easy 0-0 victory, and I have to have this discussion with them where I talk to them about, hey, if you're playing a good player, it's not going to be 0-0. The majority of singles matches come down to the difference of 5 or 6 points, right? We see these stats at the pro levels when they show, somebody won a 5-setter or a really tight 3-setter at, maybe a Masters or a 5-setter at a Grand Slam, and the difference in points won between the opponents sometimes less than 5 points. So understanding that you're going to lose points, you are going to lose a fair amount of points, and understanding that the match is going to be close and it's going to be tight is a great way to prep yourself mentally for the battle ahead.
Nice hold.
Now, in terms of serve targeting, this is something that I've been playing around with. And the way that Craig O'Shaughnessy divides the court in the service box, right? Craig O'Shaughnessy being the analytics and data strategist for the main guy for the ATP and WTA Tour, having worked with Novak and Berrettini and a lot of top women's players as well. He cuts up the service boxes 1 through 8. And one of the pieces that he also points out is that going wide on your second serve to the backhand on the ad side or down the tee to 4 and 8 isn't always the best play because your opponent's expecting you to kind of stretch them a little bit. Sometimes jamming them into their backhand is a better option. So on a couple of break points or a couple of bigger points with my second serve, I target 3 on the do side, which would be body backhand, and 7 on the ad side, which would be body backhand there as well. And a few times it really pays off. And I want you guys to try to use this in your next match when you are in a bit of a pickle, because I really believe that this is a way for you to still swing out on your shots, not hesitate on the serve, and successfully jam your opponent as the returner, maybe even giving yourself an easy look or a free point right away, or an easy look at a forehand off that first ball. I hope you guys got a lot out of this video. I know it's not the norm for my channel to show just a lot of playing points, but I hope that you guys were able to follow along and pick out the strategies that Ilya and I were trying to implement as we tried to break each other down. Make sure that you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to tune in next week where I'll bring you another great video for you to level up your game.